Hello, I recently shared my updated colours of Stampin Up Wreath. This is made with all of the colours of cardstock that Stampin Up carry from the 2020 to 2021 catalogue. I felt it was time to update it because my last one I'd used a punch that's now retired, so I thought, okay, new colours, new punches, let's go for it. So just because I've had quite a few inquiries about it, I thought I'd make a small video. Hopefully it won't be too long, but stick with me if you can, and if not, catch the important bits. Okay, here we go. So for the base, I've used an embroidery wreath, and this one is 5¼ inches across. So the actual centre bit is the 5-inch hoop, and I'm pretty sure that I bought a 5-inch hoop. I've painted it white for no other reason than I just like to have it white. So right, let's show you what to do. So to punch out, I've punched out every single colour, and I've punched out 2 in Whisper White using the punch that was available during Celebration, the small bloom, and the sprig punch. And I'm pleased that this is back in the annual catalogue from the 3rd of June. So those are the 2 punches. I appreciate you probably can't see every single colour I've got out, but I have laid them out in the order that I borrowed from Patty Bennett. I have made a couple of insertions, so Merry Merlot appears after Rich Razzleberry, and I've popped Very Vanilla in after So Saffron, and I've popped Bumblebee in after Crushed Curry, and Basic Grey comes after Smoky Slate here at the end. Now I'm left-handed. I worked backwards to do this, so what I used was some tear and tape, and I just tore off small portions like this and just popped it to get started on there, and hopefully I'll be able to pick this off without too much difficulty. Okay, now sorry I've got a bit of camera wobble, I caught the cable there. Now then, to make my pieces, I popped a little bit of Tombow. Oh, that's come out a little quick. Probably the heat, it's scorchio here today in my opinion, although they're saying it's cooler, must be my age. And I literally glued that onto the back of the small bloom, can you see? And then working backwards, I just popped that onto the glue. And just repeat this with all pieces. So a tiny bit of glue, pop your, gone all fingers and thumbs, I do apologise. Put that on. Now for the spacing, I did a rough petal width. I thought that I've gone the wrong way, I do apologise. That's what happens when you're making a video. Let me swap those over. Working backwards, Alison, come on, get a grip, girl. Okay, blubber glue. You can tell I've not made many videos. And then I just popped a little bit of glue on there. And like I say, about a petal width. Can you see? Okay. I could do with one of those silent movie speed up the camera work, but I'm not too sure how to do that. If I work it out, I'll do that and spare you the tedium. So I probably spent about 35 minutes punching all my colours out. I keep mine in the colour families, and all my scraps are kept in little plastic Ziploc bags. So this is a good one to use up some of those tiny scraps that perhaps you haven't quite felt you want to part with. And you just keep building it up like so. It's one of those jobs that actually I quite find something like this therapeutic. There's so much, well, not so much at the moment I suppose, but while we're all staying safe and isolating, but generally in life there's a lot of hustle bustle. Can do without it sometimes, so it's like colouring in, isn't it? Just gives you a bit of a change. I'm sorry I caught the cable again. I must find a better way of doing that. Sorry if I'm giving any of you motion sickness. And you can see it builds fairly quickly. Oh, you know what I haven't done? I need to put a bit more tear and tape on, don't I? It's going to be hanging on a wing and a prayer. Oh, wouldn't you know, I can't get the backing off. There must be an easy way to do this, I just don't know it yet. Okay, let's get my crumb cake piece on. I don't know if you can see it building up there. Let's get some more tear and tape on, put a few pieces on, and then as I get to them I can just remove the papers then. It really is quite simple. Simple but effective, I feel. And when we are allowed to have craft fairs and such again, and I have my Stampin' Up products on display, I usually pop this on the display board just so that it's eye-catching. People can see all the beautiful colours that we have. Now then, my colours have got a little bit jumbled here. Where have I got to? I've done crumb cake. So I think my greens have got involved somehow. Let's get the soft suede. I've probably moved it with my sleeves. Trying to wear one of my cool... I'm so sorry about this, I keep catching that cable. And Tombow really is my adhesive of choice. And it's good for so many things. I like the fact that it goes repositionable when it dries, which is really useful for some projects. So you can see it doesn't really take that long to build up. I think it's one of those projects that probably looks a whole lot worse than it actually is. And I guess it depends on how much time you've got available. If you're very busy running a hectic household, it might seem not quite so worth it. But my children have all left home. They're all grown. I'm on furlough, so My husband is working downstairs. I come up into my craft room here, my little haven, keep out of his way and have a little play with what I like best. Bit of crafting. It does me good. I don't know about anybody else, but I find it hugely beneficial. Okay. I could do with some gorgeous music playing in the background, couldn't I? Well, doing this, though I'd be inclined to sing, and I'm not sure that you want that. We had our choir practice by Zoom last night, which is always interesting. Trying to learn a Stevie Wonder song in a gospel style. I really do with the window open, but I don't recommend it if it's a little bit breezy because these bits just fly. You can ask me how I know. It happened. So, it happened the other day when I was making it, so I'm not going to try it again. And I'd have the fan on, but it's a little bit noisy and I don't think that's fair if any of you were listening. Oh, I didn't want to stay put, did it? It wants to stay stuck to me. There we go. I really am scorching. It's winter where my eldest son lives, or coming into winter. He's down in New Zealand. I haven't seen him for such a long time, over 2 years now. He was due to come back. We should have had a wedding in April, and with the coronavirus that got postponed, so I've got to wait a little longer for a real life squeeze. Goodness only knows when we'll be allowed to squeeze people again. Soon, I hope, but you know, I'm guessing not. My younger son doesn't live so far away. He's only 10 minutes down the road, but I don't know what's worse, 10 minutes down the road and I still can't see him, or the other side of the world. I'm not sure. I miss them both. But this is what we've got to do to stay healthy, keep the country healthy and try and beat this thing. Then we all have our part to play, don't we? And it's licensed to create as far as I'm concerned. I joined in the Sharing Sunshine video last night that Sarah did. It was lovely. A bit late for me crafting at that time of night, but it was worth it. I enjoyed it very much. It was lovely seeing her family interacting and joining in with the day of service. I've made a couple of cards. I've got a few more to make, but I can get back to that once I've done this. So I don't know if you can see how that's building up now. It's coming on. I hope some of you have a go at this because it's a really nice little project, and it does show off our colours beautifully. Somebody asked me if I would take it apart each year. I think I'd have to say yes, because you'd destroy it just trying to take out colours, and who knows what in colours we'll have next year. Now it looks like I've lost a coastal cabana flower, which is probably stuck to something somewhere. Where is it? Oh. Oh, there it is on the floor. Must have knocked it down with these voluminous sleeves of mine. Probably wasn't the best thing to wear to make a video, but I'm not sure that was forefront of my mind when I was getting dressed this morning. I'll probably disturb less of them the more I've used up, I suppose. That'll be something. What is it when you try and make a video you become so ham-fisted? What is it about that? I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know what I've got to be nervous about. We're among friends, aren't we? We're all in this crazy boat together. See, it quickly builds up. Let's pop some more tear and tape on as I'm working around. I think I'm doing that with my tongue out. Do any of you do that? Craft with your tongue out when you're concentrating? Thank goodness you can't see me. Especially with my lockdown hair at the moment, good lord. When I talk to my brother, I kind of feel a shambles. My brother used to be a hairdresser. He's done my hair since I was a very little girl. And I almost feel apologetic. Well, not almost, I do actually feel apologetic when I'm there with my fringe falling all over my face and what have you. Hairbands. Hairbands are the future for me, I think. My hair's normally quite short, but goodness only knows what style I'm going to end up with at the end of this. Could be like Rapunzel. I know, was she blonde? I'm definitely not blonde. I'm definitely more of the very dark brown persuasion. Right, back to working round. So I don't really think it's a hugely time-consuming project. It's just about being organised to get going, I think. Once you've punched everything out, it's just assembling. So I hope some of you will have a go at this, because it really is a nice way to display our beautiful colours. And I do think we are very lucky to have such stunning colours in our cardstock. Loving the new in colours, I don't know about you. Really, really love them. Even, I mean, I'm not a massive yellow fan, but I even like Bumblebee. I don't know what it is about it. There's a warmth there that I like about it. And the misty moonlight. I think that's fabulous too. And surprisingly, I'm normally wearing a very hot pink lipstick, but I've got a bit of orange going on in my sleeve, so I'm wearing orange lipstick today, especially for not appearing on video. I don't feel dressed without my lipstick. I don't know about anybody else. I can do without a few things, but don't steal my lipstick from me. We must be a good halfway through now, I would think, are we? I'm not going to stop and count up because that'll just add to the time it takes to make. It really is just repetitive, popping these on. No magic to it at all, apart from the end result, which I think is pretty magical. So that's me blowing because I'm blooming hot. Really could do with a fan. We went out in the car yesterday, first time I've left the little town where I live, delivering some catalogues locally, and our air conditioning's broken. Well, broken, might need regassing. We don't 100% know yet. We weren't very happy because yesterday was really, really hot. And on top of that, I mean, we had to have the windows open, and then in a neighbouring village, I live pretty much countryside, and in a neighbouring village there was an horrendous fire yesterday, a paper mill of all things, and they're alleging that there's asbestos in the air, so windows were shut. I don't feel totally safe opening them today, to be honest. I think they were there all night damping down. There were 15 fire engines, 90 firemen, 3 water tankers. So I think it was a pretty big fire. We're not used to such things out here where I live. And combined with, it was a very hot day yesterday. So combined with that, the poor firemen must be exhausted today. All the equipment they have to wear to keep them safe in their job. I'm hoping there was nobody hurt. I haven't heard anything. But I haven't heard anything either way, so. I've not really watched the news today. Some days I feel I don't need the doom and gloom, and other days I just want to be informed, so I just play it by ear. Whatever I feel that day. Watch the news, don't watch the news. I don't know if any of you are the same. Had to clap for our NHS last night, and then came into, like I say earlier, I joined Sarah's Day of Service Facebook Live. One of my customers had watched it, and she thought how lovely it was that Sarah's got such a big family, all crafting with her. You just want to hold them all close at this time, don't you? Right, we're really cooking on gas here. See what I'm doing on camera. I can't quite see my screen from the position I'm in, so I do hope it's picking up. It'll be a long wasted video if it isn't, for sure. Hope everyone's excited. We've only got a few short days to wait now before our catalogue goes live. I actually think it's the best one I've seen yet in my years as a demonstrator. Love it, absolutely love it. I feel it's going to be expensive. Unless, of course, I can earn lots of freebies, which will be a huge bonus. I'll try and get my customers excited for my launch. It's not the same when you can't see them, but we have to make the best of it, don't we? This glue is coming out a bit too quick for my liking. Oops. My fingers have got a little bit gluey. I would normally disappear off and give them a wash, but not in the middle of a video, hey? Wouldn't be the best thing to do. We're nearly there anyway. Not far off. I made a little rainbow that I put in my front window because the children, when they go by, are spotting windows. I think we're meant to be doing a hand now, high-fiving a hand. I haven't got mine done yet. By the time I do it, it'll probably have moved on to something else, but trying to keep the youngsters engaged, I suppose, and looking for things when they're taking their walk while they're somewhat restricted in what they can do and not back at school yet. And I looked at it the other day and thought, oh my goodness, even the few short weeks it's been there, because it's getting the sun all the time, it's faded terribly, so you can't even tell that there's a purple on there now. It's faded to a rather strange looking blue. So I have to think of something else to do there. I'm not going to put one of these in the window. I'm not going to risk this lot fading. Oops, that wasn't meant to happen. Oh, you can see I've just got a bit of it stuck to me there. Let's try and get some of that glue off. Right. Hopefully that will be covered by this one anyway. There we go. So nearly there. I love this little sprig punch. It's a shame that we've retired the leaf, but this makes space for new stuff, right? New stuff that you just can't live without. That's my sleeve again, jumbling up the colours. Now then, let's put these back where they should be, otherwise I'm going to get in a muddle. And we don't need that. I think that's right. I hope you'll all let me know if you have a go at making one of these. I guess if you don't have an embroidery hoop, you could probably cut something out of some cereal packet or something if you're in isolation and not able to get to the shops, or maybe you can order a hoop online. I know you can in the UK. In fact, that's where mine came from. I ordered a few for some projects. I have a group of Stampin' Up friends, and we stayed in a cottage a couple of summers ago because one of the girls had a, should we just say an O birthday rather than put an age on it, but a significant O birthday. And we all stayed in a cottage and we took some projects for us all to do. And I took along 2 sheets of every cardstock colour that we had, and the punches, and we punched out, using the leaf punch, 2 leaves of every colour. Seemed to work quite well, and that's the one that I redid. Took everything off and just started again. I did try it with butterflies and it looked horrendous. So having punched out all the butterflies, I ripped them off and started again. Oh, that reminds me of a song, Orange Juice, back in the day. Not quite those lyrics, but hey. Anyone who knows me knows that life is a lyric for me. I'm known to burst into song at a drop of a hat, any given moment. I think I've been quite good sparing you here. Perhaps I wouldn't be quite so thoughtful if I'd maybe had a small sherry or something. More likely to be a gin and tonic though in my case. I do like a gin and tonic every now and again. Just the one. Especially the summer months is more refreshing. Responsible drinking. That's the way. What is it? Little Big Town have a song called Day Drinking, I think. I do like them. Got introduced to them by a friend whose husband plays guitar. He's got a rock band. He's more rocky now, but I do like it when he sings a bit of country. He introduced us to Little Big Town. We had an open mic last summer actually. We have a beautiful square in the middle of our town. We have this thing called the Buttercross, which is a bit of a monument, I suppose, more than anything. It's a bit like, it looks a bit like a bandstand, and it's a medieval. The market has been around since medieval times. So anyway, we held it in the square, and he'd got a couple of us to sing. So one of his guitarists was away on holiday, so he changed his set, did a couple of numbers. His son plays bass guitar as well. So they did a couple of numbers, and then his wife and another friend and I got up and joined in for 3 songs. I got introduced to It's 5 o'clock somewhere, the Jimmy Buffett song, and we sang 2 Little Big Town numbers. In fact, I think that's probably my profile picture on my personal Facebook page. We tried to dress up a little bit country style, and we had some tartan shirts, and well, mine was a gents, and I think we all bought gents shirts actually, and tried to sort of look a bit like we'd got a theme going on. It was fun. It was a good laugh. I was very nervous, but it was all right once we'd done it. Once we'd done it, it just, I don't know what I'd been nervous about, but I suppose not singing in public very often, or if I do, I'm usually in a big choir. Not quite so exposed, shall we say. Right, now then, we're getting very near the end now, and this has started to stick on the bit I need. So, a bit of gentle easing and encouragement, shall we say. Oh, that doesn't want to stick there, does it? Preferring to stick to me right now. We might just get our pick-up tool. Let's take the pokey off, and then hopefully I won't make any holes where I don't want them. I've just got one in the wrong order, haven't I? Oh no. And the last one, last but not least. Like I say, I popped 2 just because it felt like there was a bit of a need. So I started and finished with Whisper White. You might find with your spacing you don't need 2. I just kind of felt it just needed that extra one. Looks like I've pulled a bit of petal off. Hopefully it won't show. Got stuck to my fingers. And there we are. And then just pop a bow around the top there. Any ribbon that Stampin' Up do will go with it, because all the colours are in here. So there we are. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you have a go at making one. Please share a picture with us if you do. That would be great. Thanks for watching. Bye.